Ben Shapiro begins by discussing the recent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The FBI is investigating the incident, and while they haven't identified a specific ideology fueling the gunman, Shapiro suggests it's likely the shooter simply didn't like Trump. The shooter, who had previously donated to ActBlue, a Democratic super PAC, had registered as a Republican to vote against Trump in an open primary. Shapiro emphasizes that the shooter acted alone and had rudimentary explosive devices in his car and bomb-making materials at his home. Shapiro describes how Trump narrowly avoided being shot, attributing it to divine intervention. Trump shifted his head at the last moment to look at a chart, causing the bullet to graze his ear instead of hitting the back of his head. A man named Corey Comparator died protecting his family members during the incident. Shapiro criticizes the Secret Service's failure to secure the area properly, noting that the shooter had ample time to prepare and was visible on the roof of a nearby building. The assassination attempt has significantly impacted the political landscape. President Biden gave an address calling for unity and lowering the temperature of political rhetoric. However, Shapiro criticizes Biden for not including himself in this call for moderation, given his campaign's focus on portraying Trump as an existential threat to democracy. He argues that such rhetoric can lead to violence and that Biden needs to take responsibility for his part in escalating tensions. The Republican National Convention is set to begin, with Trump expected to announce his vice presidential pick. Trump has reportedly rewritten his convention speech to focus more on unity rather than attacking Biden's policies. Shapiro speculates on potential VP candidates, including J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Doug Burgum, and Glenn Youngkin. In a significant development, a federal judge has dismissed the classified documents case against Trump, citing the unlawful appointment of special counsel Jack Smith. This decision is likely to be appealed, but effectively ends the case before the election. Shapiro interviews Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who is at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Johnson describes the mood at the convention as different from expected due to the recent events, but still filled with anticipation and excitement. He emphasizes the importance of the moment and the need for unity and strong leadership. Johnson agrees with Shapiro's assessment that political rhetoric has become too heated. He mentions that Trump is changing his convention speech to focus more on unifying the country, which Johnson believes is the kind of visionary leadership needed at this time. Johnson criticizes the Democratic Party and Biden administration for their rhetoric against Trump and Republicans. Johnson discusses the Republican Party's plans if they win unified control of government. He mentions priorities such as closing the border, improving the economy through tax policy and deregulation, addressing energy policy, and restoring America's stature on the world stage. Johnson emphasizes the importance of Republicans working together across the House and Senate to implement their agenda. Shapiro asks about potential investigations into Biden's health and the Secret Service's failures during the assassination attempt. Johnson confirms that oversight committees are looking into these issues. Regarding Biden's health, Johnson suggests it's an open secret in Washington that Biden is not fully capable of fulfilling his duties. On the Secret Service investigation, Johnson reveals that hearings are already scheduled, and he's compiling a list of questions for the Department of Homeland Security Secretary. When asked about the importance of the GOP platform, Johnson acknowledges that while it matters to party loyalists, its significance may be diminishing in the modern media landscape. He emphasizes that regardless of the platform's specifics, the Republican Party stands for core principles such as individual freedom, limited government, rule of law, and the sanctity of life.